And we're back. Welcome, guys, to Jay's Ways with your host, Mr. J. Now, you're probably wondering what confidence is. Well, first, you're probably wondering who I am. And let me tell you, it doesn't really matter who I am. The real question is, who are you? Can you tell me that? Welcome to Jay's Ways with your host, Mr. J. Today's topic, can you be happy? Can you be happy? What what does that even mean? What does that even mean to be happy? I mean, do you know what that means? No. Do they sell happiness? Can I just be happy? Where do I go to buy this happiness? Can I go to a store and get some happiness for like 20, 30, 35, 45, maybe $50? Is it based on weight? Is it a drink? What do you think makes somebody happy? What would make you happy? Take a second and think about that for a second. Here on Jay's Ways, I'm here to give you your daily dose of motivation. We're going to take a look at how some of the most influential people look at happiness and stay happy. Now, when was the last time you said to somebody, there is not enough time in the day? When was the last time you looked up at the clock and seen the exact same time as the day before? The point is life supposed to be this mundane? Were we created to be in a system that does not allow us to grow? Or tricks us and tells us that we are growing, but we're not happy? One of the most influential persons I know, Joe Rogan. And we're going to listen to how he defines
some decisions to adjust that, and over the next couple hours you'll get to a much better place. And these constant management decisions, they waver in and out of your life on a daily basis. Like this idea that you could have a good mindset and then all of a sudden you'll be happy, that's horseshit. Like it's like the tide. It comes in and it comes out, and there's going to be days where you're just not feeling so good physically, and that's going to
and
affect
I
the way you're.
and I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of people think that if you're happy, you're always happy. You're always on 10. You're always going to be this exciting thing on life that nothing can bring you down, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. You're going to be sad. That's what it comes down to. The point is that it's okay to be sad. It's not okay to stay sad. Accept, understand, resolve.
Happiness level is. It's never static. It's never exactly the same. This is something I've cultivated for a long time and avoided things that make me unhappy and figured out what those things are and been very rigid about eliminating them from my life. And one of the big ones is eliminating interactions with people that are negative. That is gigantic. And
Huge.
because
Huge.
I've realized.
Do not waste your time with negative people. Let me say that again. For those of you who are wasting your time with negative people, do not waste your time with negative people. Don't try to fix them. Don't do it.
Realize that I'm not really as I used to like to think I was. I used to like to think that my thought process was independent and that I don't give a what anybody thinks. That's nonsense. People say that because they absolutely care what people think and it bothers them. So
And
they
it
say I don't
bothers
give a but that I don't give a stuff is almost entirely nonsense. You do care, and you care in both ways. You care if people are critical of you, care if people are positive of you, but you also care if people are living positive lives and they're motivating you.
It's as within as without. If you're hanging around people who are depressed all the time, who are unhappy because of their routines that they're in, of their daily situations, it's going to most likely bring you down. Why? Because now you're codependently trying to help them out. Now you're taking them to wherever they need to be because they don't have a car. Now you're taking them or giving them money because they don't have no job. It becomes a, well, now I'm taking care of you kind of situation. Well, you need to be taking care of yourself. Let go of the negativity. They are just as capable as you, regardless of the situation. Stop trying to help others before yourself. It's okay to help others, but you need to make sure that yourself is okay first. When you go on an airplane ride, what is the first thing they tell you before they take off? You put the oxygen mask on your face then you put it on your child, because it makes no sense to put the oxygen mask on the child if you're going to pass out. Who's going to raise the child? No, it doesn't work like that. You need to take care of yourself and then others.
That's a big one. People are fuel. You know, like just talking to you about your time in the monastery.
Fire. And that's what I'm here to be. I'm here to be your fuel, your daily motivation. You're listening to Jay's Ways with your host, Mr. Jay.
Push to get to that 100 miles. Like, you get energy out of people like that. And you think about...
You're going to get energy from listening to this. You're going to feel motivated. You're going to get up and say, I don't know why I haven't done this yet after listening to this. Why? Because you're happy. You don't even know it yet.
This energy, and you think about this inspiration when you're doing other things. And it also sets in your mind that when you meet these exceptional people that move you, like, what are the characters, what are the qualities that they have, what are the characteristics that they possess, and those things become significant and important to you. Whereas if you live around a bunch of people that are complaining and bitching about everything, and they see the negative in everything, and they're always whining, those people are the opposite of that. They're the opposite of inspiration, and they're mud. You're just like, what? It's like,
you have to be the light in both aspects. When someone's negative, don't let that mud stick and weigh you down. Shake it off. Be light. Be the light. When you are light, you are going to attract darkness.
Like you're up to your ankles in mud, you try to trudge through life. It's difficult. You're not light. It's not pushing you. There's not a wind at your back. The wind's in your face, and it's rough. You know, and over time, I've learned that these people, you're not going to fix them. I used to want to fix them when I was young. I used to want to go, hey, man, I see what you're doing. Like, dude, don't do that anymore. Listen, just try.
I did that
too.
I mean,
just do this and stop doing that.
How many times have you tried to help somebody out and it did not work? How many times? You can't heal the world.
If you just work towards this, you could be successful, and then a week later, the guy's doing the same. You're like, okay, right. I'm wasting a significant amount of my energy on someone who doesn't want to waste any of their energy on themselves.
None.
And so managing the community and the tribe that you're in, making sure that you're a good member of that tribe, that you're doing your part. When you're around happy, inspirational people that are successful, it makes you feel better and you get inspired. And if you act on that inspiration, your life will be more fulfilled. And it's not just inspirational in terms of financial success, but in terms of doing difficult things, whether it's...
Challenge yourself. Right now, challenge yourself. Ask, what can I do to challenge myself? Whether it be cleaning up, doing laundry, anything. You need to challenge yourself.
Running 100 miles, it doesn't pay you a goddamn thing other than the wealth.
It's right now. You keep telling yourself there's not enough time in the day, but you're sitting down not getting it done. Pick something, write it down, get it done.
Of the knowledge that you can push yourself to such an extreme, or anything else, whether it's someone who becomes really good at playing chess, or someone who's really good at martial arts, or whatever it is. There's a great feeling in these overcoming these difficult things, because life is never this just constant state of, I'm at a 9 all day, and when I'm with my wife, I hit 10. Yay! And I stay like that. That's not real. What's real is, like, you saying that you went to this monastery and felt all this angst about meditating and being alone and not having your phone and not having the input, but then when it comes out of it, then you have this reward. So you push through this, and you had these uncomfortable feelings, and you came out of those uncomfortable feelings with this newfound appreciation for time and this
newfound appreciation for time. I think that is huge. The way to happiness is through the appreciation of time. I promise you, you're asking yourself if money or a house or a car is going to make you happy. I will give you the answer right now to happiness. It is time, my friends. Time is going to make you happy. And understand you have more time right now than you will at the end of this video. So be in the moment. Be present in right now. Ground yourself. It sounds super hard. It sounds so hard to ground yourself. But the best way to be happy is to be in the moment. The best way to be in the moment is to take a second and close your eyes. Take a deep, deep breath. And with that deep breath, think and visualize of all of your problems. And hold that breath. Imagine all your problems on the end of a balloon. And as you exhale all of your problems. And with it, that balloon rises as you let it go. And imagine you release this balloon in your head that is carrying away all of your problems. And as you watch that balloon rise to the sky, with it, your worries and concerns. And in that moment, you will be grounded as your problems fly further and further away from you, allowing you to take the time you need to sit down, reflect, see where you've been and where you want to go. And most importantly, how to get there. All in an inhale and an exhale. You're clear. You know where you're at. From here, we can figure out where we want to go and how to get there. Respect time is the key to happiness.
Found the respect for your own existence in your own space and
Your
carving
own
out
life.
3 hours for yourself a day.
Know your worth.
That's where it all comes from. It all comes from life lessons, and the lessons are learned through struggle. And I think that there's a lot of
okay to
people out there that think somehow or another you're going to get to some place where you're living in silk sheets and you're getting your toes done.
Big
while
house.
Someone's dropping grapes into your mouth. I don't want that. I've never wanted that. That guy's not going to be happy. He's going to be bored. An hour into the grapes, you're going to get those grapes away from me. Stop painting my doing this bed. I got to do something. I'm not stimulated. The human organism, the animal that we are, needs constant stimulation because it evolved trying to find food and escape enemies and find shelter, escape nature, escape the elements, try to survive. And this is the great joy that you have in taking care of your children, that you can protect your children from the elements and the enemies and feed them. And it's also the great sadness that you see in losers. When I see a loser, I see some guy who's 43 years old, lives in his parents' basement, and he hates the world. I'm like, that was a baby. Man, this is a baby that somebody just gave shitty nutrients to, whether it's nutrients in the forms of food or in the form of thoughts and ideas and examples. And this kid developed these horrible, self-defeating patterns of behavior that have led them to this.
Don't develop horrible, self-repeating bad habits of behavior. Don't do it.
Point where they're this middle-aged person with no future and no idea of how to get out of this rut and probably never will escape it. Hello, depression, because when you're not doing anything, you feel like shit. And that's just a part of being a human being. And we can pretend that we're something other than what we really are. And we can pretend, nah, me, man, I'm just cool, just chilling, doing nothing. Bullshit. You're a fucking human. You're a human being. You evolved from the hundreds of thousands of years of hunters and gatherers and people that were struggling. Those human reward systems are carved deeply into your DNA. And if you don't respect that, if you don't respect the mechanism of happiness and fulfillment and what you really need to do in order to feel satisfied in life, camaraderie, love, family, friendship, struggle, testing yourself, learning, all those things are imperative. They're all a giant part of being a person.
Is life supposed to be this mundane? Joe Rogan explains happiness as something that in itself is something that includes the downfalls of life. This roller coaster ride of good and bad as what defines happiness. That our humanity evolved from hunting and gathering. Don't listen to negative people. It's okay to be sad. It's not okay to stay sad. Always focus on being a better version of yourself, not anybody else. Just a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. Follow for more daily motivational videos. Thanks for watching Jay's Ways with your host, Mr. J. As always, peace, love, and vegetation.